know what I mean? So for the fathers in here, how is it being a parent right now?
I go ahead because you got the youngest, I think.
That nigga said,
I'm a
Go
mom. I
ahead,
got a
brother
four-year-old,
Man,
Albert.
so
right.
Because
Yeah, I
I
a
got
think
a
mom, and
about
I got a
what was gonna
four-year-old,
happen once
so
his son got to being able to walk. I'm like, bro, he about to have your ass running
oh
around.
man. I even
okay.
tell you about this what Sunday before last. So they got out of school for Thanksgiving the week before. Took this guy to the park that Sunday. You know how it is. You know how easy it is to lose sight of your kid for like a split sec. I lose sight of for a split sec. I hear him whimpering. I turn around. This guy decided he wanted to play in the anthill. Yeah, man, got
whoa.
his hands all bit up and
Oh, it was
he
a
didn't.
red ant?
How
Yeah,
old
Whoa.
your
yeah.
little one?
Yeah,
Ooh.
he didn't cry, but he just did a bunch of whimpering. Thankfully, he had his 6 month checkup that next day, and they were just
Whoa.
yeah, so
Oh man,
they was like just give him some ibuprofen and some
you got a 6-month-old?
no, I got 2.5 year old.
Oh, 2.5. I got a 4-year-old. He got poison ivy a couple months ago. That was the worst.
Man,
Oh God.
I ain't know what to
man,
do.
listen, them boys been to everything.
He be into everything.
That's
Yeah,
a
I'm already
shame.
knowing. Yeah, I'm already knowing.
You know,
That's why I
It'll be
said,
fine.
Niles, get
It'll be
ready,
fine.
big
I know
fella.
how I
yeah,
was, so I'm like, yeah, I already know. I'm here for it.
Best thing
yeah,
ever. It's
man.
gonna be like a mini you walk
There
around.
you go,
hmm
for sure.
hmm
But it's the blessing of all blessings for sure.
Man,
Yeah, I would say,
when I be talking to my pops, I'll be asking him like, man, what's it like? And he's just like, man, it's a feeling that you just can't duplicate. Like it
Man,
is a feeling that I'm like, man, you can have that much love for somebody. He like,
oh, what? Man,
what?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like you can hear somebody explain it a million times but until you actually go through it for yourself, man. I mean, any explanation doesn't really do it real justice until you're in it for
And
yourself.
I think I'm because I've been like going through so many like videos and just looking
Yeah,
at
yeah,
whatever else, but it's
yeah.
like nothing's gonna really do it. So it's like
Nah.
I've heard that so many times, it's just like
Yep.
You gonna do
next one
that,
I
but
can't even explain what's
Right.
going through my
Exactly.
head or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. But I mean, and so much of it, like when he comes, a lot of it's just gonna be instinctive,
Hmm
but a lot of it's gonna be instinctive,
that's what's
you know.
up, man. That's what's up, man. But man, what's up, man? We still alive, man. We in this market, man. How we doing, man? What's going on?
It's just been a
Trying to
weird
make it out
week.
of choppy waters.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Happy.
This is
Hey,
bullshit.
y'all, put this on y'all calendar. Put this on y'all calendar too. December 15th. Put it on the calendar. So everybody's talking about the rate cut, but um, do make sure we understand about the Japan
That Bank of Japan.
Bank.
Cherry,
Uh-huh.
cherry.
That is what drove the market down. And that's what people don't really understand. Like the numbers and the job numbers, that was a little bit of it, but the main thing of it was the Japan carry trade. Because you're not
Hmm.
able to get that money for as cheap anymore. So that's very effective. And why we seeing such a quick liquidation like that, like 6, 7 G's a day or whatever the case may be, market was taking a hit. Like it was
Mm.
terrible. So put
yeah,
those on your calendar. That's the big thing.
yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out. We talked about that last
Yeah, I
week
was about to
too.
say, yeah, I remember we talked about that last week.
Yeah, we talked about the dates of Jerome Powell. We got next week, interest rate cuts next week,
Hmm.
and then the 15th. That what this in about a week and a half. So
Hmm.
things has just been just super choppy, bro. Right?
Yeah,
And
it has.
if you look at the money market funds, and for everybody that don't know money market funds is just safety, right? That's just money that you can put into a um debt asset where you can just get liquid cash whenever you want, but you earn interest on it. It's like a kind of like a high yield savings account, but it's through the stock market. It's an asset that you can invest in. And when people put their money in money market funds, that means they're considered on the sidelines. When you look at the number just reached the all-time high of like $8 trillion on the sideline. $8 trillion, but the market is at all-time highs. So it's like what is going
Yeah.
on? You know what I mean? Like, bro, how is it all this money on the side that's waiting for something to pop? but the market just keeps running up.
Does that mean retail is buying the dip?
It means
Yeah, they're
retail.
just the retailers buying a dip.
No, so it's not
And
specifically only retail.
institutions.
Yeah,
They
it's
brought in all that
yeah.
money last Monday and Tuesday. They pumped that shit in.
So
Well,
it's institutions, it's retail, but a lot of people they not talking about it. We in a different game now. And what I mean by that, in 2008, you see all this money on the side, it ain't that much money in the market. When you got different players in the game now, it's money everywhere now. It's a group of people that I know that they got so much money, they only trade the overnight markets. I'm like, you actually trade that, so you can't actually put no option plays in, but you can buy and sell shares overnight. You can go on Robinhood right now and purchase some shares overnight. They buy overnight and they sell before the market even opens. That's how they trade. That's how they make their money, right? There's so many different strategies out here. We're gonna talk about it today, but it's so many different players in the game now, bro. It's so many different people that pick their spots. They're like, yo, this is my game. This is what I'm doing. I'm playing with this amount of money in Europe. And then there's this group over here in China. I'm playing with this amount of money. It's not just a simple game no more. And that's why it's just the markets are at a weird place, right? And it's a lot of people investing in the crypto.
Mm.
It's a lot of people investing in the gold. Gold is, I think it was like $30 trillion. So if it's all that money in gold, it's all that money in the stock market, it's all that money in crypto, and it's all this money on the sidelines, what does that mean? Like I just said, it's a different game we playing now, bro. There's bigger players in the game in 2025 than it was in 2008. So like when people calling for the crash, or the market's gonna crash and it's gonna do this and it's gonna do that, we're not in the same environment anymore. We're not in the same environment anymore. I don't know if y'all noticed, but the dips are getting bought up quicker than ever before now, bro. They don't last that long.
Yeah, Ian said that a few times on Market Mondays.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So back then you see something dipping, or we got a clear direction of a downtrend for at least the next couple weeks, the next month or two. Now that thing can dip in one day, it can be back up next week. Like, damn, I didn't even have no chance to
and
miss it all.
execute.
I got a business.
You know what I mean? You feel me? Put your mics on mute, brother.
My apologies.
Nah, you good, brother. But yeah, so it's just different players in the game, man. But choppy week we've been having, bro. Just very choppy. Like I think it was 68.49 we closed last week at. Today we're at like 68.57.
Hey Nate, real quick, I hate to cut you off. I just wanted to know like where you got like or where can I go to get that, money market account information as
Oh,
far as you.
good. I'm glad you asked me. I'm gonna share my screen early today. I'm sharing it right now so everybody can see. Y'all can see my screen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, better. Type in money market funds. Let's go inflow. Inflow. There we go. So always come to the Investment Company Institute, right? They do the release every Wednesday, money market funds. Look at this. Look at this. Money market funds. This is a website y'all should have bookmarked. So it looks like it's back under 8 trillion. That's crazy. Right back under 8 trillion. So it's showing as of December 4th, which is today, last night when they make the report, period ended Wednesday, December 3rd. That's why I say every Wednesday night. It looks like assets on the sidelines, money market funds, increased $86 billion. So 86 billion from last Thursday to Wednesday increased $86 billion to $7.65 trillion on the sidelines. And then when y'all go lower, it'll show you, let's see, should show you, yep, retail Shows you retail, 3 trillion on the sidelines just out of retail. It shows you institutionals, 4.6 trillion. Yep. And then those together, retail and institution, that's where you get that 7 trillion number. And then they got the notes on here. This is a good page that y'all should have reference to, bro. This is something that I check every single week because when
What is it called?
it's called, let's see, Release Money Market Fund Assets. It's the website called, let's see if they got it's ICI.org. I thought they was going to have a real name, but ICI.org.
And it's on which the resource hubs?
You said, what'd you say?
Is it underneath the resource hubs tab? What
Oh,
tab
no,
is it?
so I haven't put it in a Notion yet. This is just something I check every week, but I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add it today. I'm gonna send it in the
Nah,
chat.
I'm on the actual website. So where'd you go to get that information?
Do you see where it says home and then research and then it should say stats?
Mm,
Stats, and then it should say release money market funds asset. If you can't find it directly on the website, I will go to Google and just type it in completely.
oh, there you go.
You got it?
Stats. There it is.
Yep.
I'll put the direct link in this Zoom chat too for everybody.
Appreciate you, brother. And so a reason why this is important to see is because when you see money market funds outflow, those are the two words that you need to see when it comes to money market funds, inflows and outflows. When you see it outflowing, that means money is leaving the sidelines. When you see inflow, like it just said right here, money market fund assets increase. Usually says inflow. Increase 86 billion. That means more money is going to the sidelines. When you start seeing this outflow or this went down 7.6 trillion down to 7.5 trillion or 7.4 trillion or 7 trillion or 6.9 trillion, that means all of that money is going somewhere. Right? And Ian talks about it a lot, risk on and risk off. This is a good indication if we got risk on or risk off. It's not the only indication, but it's something that you should check. It's something that you should check. Every week, they release it. Every week. You're going to be able to see from week to week how much money is going to the sidelines and how much money is coming out of the sidelines. Yeah, I got that. All right, cool. And then while we're here, actually, since we're already sharing the screen, we can go straight into the charts real quick. SPX I got up here. Something I want to talk to you about today, that Fibonacci retracement. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that Fibonacci retracement. For the ones that, I just need help with the support and resistance. I should have told y'all about this a long time ago. It just slipped my mind because I got so good at putting the support and resistance on. The Fibonacci retracement as a new beginner is all you need. You don't need certain patterns. You don't need none of that. The Fibonacci retracement will show you key levels that investors are looking at. And so when we take SPX for example, I'm gonna see if I can delete it and add it back on so I can show you how to put it on. That's that Fibonacci up here on that left side, Fibonacci retracement. You'll go from, the top? You can either go from the top or the bottom. I usually go from the top, and you can open that up. And then you want to put this at the bottom of that support, the last support that you see, last strong support you see. Seeing it? And this saves you time, right? It saves you that time of not having to, where's the support at? Where's the resistance at? Is this the right support? Is this the right resistance? When you put that fib on, dude, it does the work for you. I think Alante had said earlier that he put his fib on a couple weeks ago, and he hasn't had to cut up or chart at all because he's just kept this on, right? And the reason being why this is so good to see is because, like I said, the key levels are already kind of shown for you. There wouldn't be no guessing on where the market is going to go. right? And so, like we said, we can go through the past 2 weeks, and we see here, Malcolm had called it out as well. This candlestick here looks pretty similar to that candlestick that we got about a week and a half ago. Candlesticks are cool, but where did it stop at? What area? Right? What area did it stop at? It looks like once it comes under this what's this 0.23 area on this Fibonacci, this area between here, it looks like it got some great support here. So if we seen one touch in here, another touch in here, touch in here, a touch in here, we should have been anticipating already that it's some big buyers and some big support in this area. Right? And again, if you want to cut up the chart yourself, do it. Do your thing. But I'm talking about for the ones that just want to make the game just super easy. Just keep the fib on. I don't got to touch nothing else. This is what you do. That Fibonacci retracement. Right? And so, like I said, for the past week and a half, bro, these green candles was Thanksgiving week. Right? We gapped up on Monday, ran again Tuesday, ran again Wednesday. Thursday was off. Friday, we ran again and finished the day. Finished Friday. So this was a jump from 6,500. By next Friday, was at 6,800. And this is what I mean about the dips are not lasting that long anymore. And this is why another reason why I'm a big advocate, just like EYL is, just like a lot of traditional investors, dollar cost averaging. If you can't time the market, right? If you can't have the specific price targets that you need ready, dollar cost averaging, investing every single week, you're not going to miss anything. You're not going to miss anything. So look at this. Remember, this is a daily chart. Daily. On that Thursday, when NVIDIA did what they did and they dropped, that Thursday when it dropped, Friday, if you didn't buy on Friday, you missed almost this entire run. If you did not buy on Friday or Thursday at the close or Friday, you had literally less than 48 hours to get in on the next spark of the next bull run. And I'm talking bull run in short distance, right? Over the next month, 2 months, couple weeks. You have 48 hours, less than 48 hours to get in position. And that is why I'm saying that there are different players in the game now. Back in 2008, back in 2000, you see something dip and crash like that. That thing it's going to take a little minute for that thing to revive a little bit. This thing dropped Thursday. By next Thursday, we're back to close to all-time highs, bro. 6,500 back to almost 6,900 in 3 business days. 3 trading days. And I just want to show y'all this fib. It really helps. It really helps. So definitely look at that Fibonacci retracement. If y'all need help setting it up, I will help y'all set that up. It's definitely on the side over here. Play around with that trading view. And for the ones that don't want to trade, that don't really care about the charts like that, yo, that's okay too, though. But for the ones that are trying to trade, that are trying to understand the charts, this is what you want to see. I got mine color coded. You can change the colors on them things. Let me see. Yep, you can change the color on them. I think, yeah, I got mine all black. But yeah, you can change it to anything, bro. And you can change different areas of that thing, right? I'm not gonna save it, but I want to save mine, but just want to show y'all what it looked like. All right. So that's the fib. And that's what happened on SPX this past 2 weeks. And then I want to show y'all NVIDIA. I want to show y'all why NVIDIA is very important right now. There was a report that came out. That said Congress is proposing a bill to block NVIDIA's chips to China, like block them permanently. While this bill came out, NVIDIA is still not going lower, right? The report came out, I think, yesterday or today. NVIDIA looks like it's ready to go back to all-time highs. And this is another reason why we'll get into another segment of blocking out the noise, bro. This would have been a great buy on NVIDIA in the 170s. 170, 173. And Google announced that they're using the TPUs and they might be the new leader. Dude, block out the noise and buy assets on a discount. Prime example of blocking out the noise. We knew, like inside, we knew Google was going to be all right. I'm not talking about right now. I'm not talking about over the next month. When Google was going through what it was going through earlier this year, we knew eventually, as a Mag 7 company, they might have to change some leadership up. We knew eventually they were going to be all right. We knew that. But with the noise, with what's going on in the market, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, it plays such a role in how we viewed Google that none of us loaded up on Google when it was in the low 100s. It was this year. None of us loaded up, right? None of us loaded up. And now Google, by the end of the year, they're talking about Google being the new AI leader. 7 months ago, they were saying Google is literally struggling. They're behind the AI, they're behind in this, their large language models, their Gemini Pro. And one thing I realized this year is that it doesn't matter what people are saying. It's about how big the company is, how valuable it is, and if they got the bandwidth and the wherewithal to change the story. Changing the story. Same thing with Apple, bro. For the last year or two, Apple, oh, they're about to die. It's over with. Apple, no. They're not innovating, they're not doing this. And then you realize Apple got all this money. All they need to really do is just change a few things around, and then they'll be back to the upside. Listen, these big time mags, these companies are not falling apart. They're not going to allow that to happen, bro.
But it is interesting, like five of Apple's top heads just left. One left from Meta today. I might have just found the tweet, but it was like five higher ups just all
Over the
got
last
Oh,
year,
poached.
shit.
right?
You said
Just
what?
recently.
Over the
This was
last year?
recently.
Recently?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like
over
in the
the
past
last
day or
year.
so.
Yeah, and then dude just stepped down like yesterday or today or something.
And then Tim Cook is supposed to step down next year, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah, he's out of there.
Talking about he's out of there. But even with that, though, even with the leadership changes, Apple just hit all-time highs last week when the market was selling off. So what I'm saying is you got a better chance of investing into your Googles or Apples, NVIDIAs that are going through so much than you do with a company that's not even in the S&P 500. Follow me on that?
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that these companies are going back to all-time highs and all this and that, but the proof is kind of in the pudding, like there's different players in the game. These companies have been around for, bro, decades, bro. And they're gonna be around longer than we here, bro. That's why I keep saying just invest into the quality, even if they're going through what they're going through, bro. Buy them on a discount, bro. I know so many people I see on Twitter that were loading up on Google, like it's gonna come back. And I remember watching EYL, I remember watching just a lot of different investors. It was just like, man, um, Google's struggling, man. Like, I don't want to touch it. But that comes back to Warren Buffett's. You need to be fearful when others are greedy, and you need to be greedy when others are fearful. Right? Same thing in the April sell-off, man. If we bought everything up in the April sell-off when everybody was scared, dog, we'd be sitting on something
Mm.
large right now, right? So that's kind of what I want to show y'all with that. Um, did anybody else have any questions about the charts before I put the chart away?
Can
I
you
just have
take a
one. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no? Do your thing, bro.
No, I was going to say, just going back to the we were talking earlier just about how quick we're rebounding from these dips.
Yeah.
What do you, in your mind, what's the cause of that?
And I'm gonna keep saying it, the different players that are in the game, right? There are players in the game right now that are riding the wave up, but there are also players in the game that missed the dip about a week and a half ago.
Mm.
So their object next time there's a dip, we gonna take
Yeah, they
that
ain't
up.
gonna miss it.
We ain't gonna miss it. And you gotta think it's not just our big institution versus this big institution. It's thousands of institutions, bro. It's millions of traders. It's millions of investors that are in the top 10, 15% brackets, bro. Like it's not just the little guys no more. Like we're retail. Like I think they should start breaking it up like retail big dogs and retail, you
Mm.
feel me? The regular guys. Because there's some retail out here, bro, that are not an institution that have large amounts of cash, bro, that are sitting on 50 million, 100 million that are making these big swings, bro. Like it's ridiculous. And they're not registered to anybody. They're just in their brokerage account running up a bag.
Mm.
So I definitely think that's a cause of it. And then, people don't want to miss the bull run.
Mhm.
People were so pessimistic on Trump when he got in and how we were going down that we have been doing nothing but going up. And I think a lot of people don't want to miss the opportunity that could come if we run another couple months, bro, another 5, 6 months. Nigel, what's up, man?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to see if you could pull up like the Alibaba
Oh yeah, say less.
situation. I know we were talking about, just U.S. companies and whatnot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being a little selfish right now.
You all good.
Oh, we got you, brother. Fucking
And dang
blind.
near Nate, when you get a chance, show me the settings you got on your chart, screenshot it or something.
I
Mm.
got you.
Because
So I can
sometimes they be
quantify.
having different EMAs on trading views. Sometimes folks pick the wrong one.
And do you have does everybody have um the paid for trading view? Because it makes a difference.
I ain't broke down yet.
You said you ain't broke it down yet?
Mm-mm.
Ain't got
I
the
need
I
to
subscription.
thought
though.
about it with the
Yeah,
Black
I do
Friday
need to.
sale, but I
That
Cause
didn't.
is a
Bro,
good
they had a
investment.
sale on Black
I
Friday for
thought about it. I
TradingView
I,
for
I
Yeah,
ain't
every
pull the
year.
trigger.
it'd be like
Mm-mm.
limiting the indicators and shit.
Yeah,
it
they
was
do.
like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, watch
$200 for the
list.
full thing for the full year or
Mm-hmm.
something like that for TradingView.
Yeah, pretty much every Black Friday.
That's what's up. So what's up, Nigel? What you seeing, man? Alibaba here.
Let me take a look. So it looks like it's still kind of looking for a support, but it's bouncing off of support. Well, it hasn't even reached a support really. It's still trying to find it.
Yeah, it's trying to find it, but like I told you about Alibaba when we talked about it on the phone. Alibaba, I think it's BAI or BAIB. These companies that are ADRs, these companies that are traded, in a different country, bro, especially China, bro.
Mm.
You just don't know, man. Trump could wake up one day and he's just like F China, bro. And Alibaba could fall apart. And then one day he could wake up and say, I'm rocking with China. And then they just pop 20, 30, 40, $50. I definitely think Alibaba is a valuable company. Um, but yeah, man, just chart wise, I feel like they have this, and I'm gonna pull up the Fibonacci on this one so we can all see this real time. I feel like they have that area of like I was just talking about, on SPX. I think they got that area where this is their area, bro. Y'all seeing that?
When you say this is that area, do you mean like it's either we could go further down? It's still trying to decide,
Nah, I
or
see that, bro. If this goes back to the upside, I wouldn't be surprised that it turned around right here.
That's
okay,
heavy support.
And just like on SPX, this area, like I said, under here, just finding that support area, right? Finding that area every time it was coming down here, like it touched here and it bounced. Came in here, it bounced again. Came in here, it bounced again. Came down off of the deep sell-off when the whole market sold off, not just Alibaba sold off. It came down here again. It held strong, popped again, came back down again. They bought it up again, came down again, popped again. They came down again. It's bouncing off of this line. So this area actually would be a good area to grab Alibaba, in my opinion, right? And it was at what, 192 and it's at 157 now. So about almost $40 off from his high. Getting ready for potentially a Christmas rally. But like I said, bro, it's just when you playing with Alibaba and these international companies, bro, Trump could wake up and get on BS one day.
hell yeah,
He could wake up and get on BS one day. You're like, man, the company look good. They doing good. They profitable. And then they just down 20, down 30. You know what I mean? Like Microsoft, for example. That shit the other day. They come out and say their sales, they're lowering their guidance on their sales. They drop about $12. Come to find out, it was fake news, right? And I actually want y'all to see this. And I'm telling you, bro, I'm starting to see a pattern with this shit, man. I'm starting to see a pattern with this shit. And I said this on my Instagram story the other day. Look at this. Let me get rid of that. Look at this. Starting to see a pattern, bro. We got in at Microsoft around that 474, right? That next day, on that Wednesday, Microsoft popped crazy. Popped crazy. We was gone. We felt like we was gone. You can see it hovering here, but you can also see just the sentiment of the market. The market doesn't want to go down. So if the market doesn't want to go down, but there is a gap on Microsoft. So we about to gap and go, and then Microsoft just gonna have to come get that gap in a couple weeks, or the market is going to have to possibly sell off again for it to go fill this gap. Market didn't sell off again. What happened? A fake report came. That was crazy.
I was gonna
Listen,
ask if you thought that was manufactured too, because to me, I saw that gap from when they popped up last week, and I was like, when I saw it in pre-market, it was down to exactly right where that gap fill was. I'm like, this just seems too perfect, and it never went lower. It never went lower than that. It just stopped there and then went right back up.
look at it. The gap's here.
Exactly.
It comes down exactly, and then they release that it was a fake report. So it just makes you think, like, bro, what's really going on, bro?
Mm.
And what happens is because and this is the problem with America, and I think China had passed a rule about a couple weeks ago, a month ago, that you have to be verified before you can report on politics, news, medicine, and all the essential things that China has. America don't have that. It can be a random person that get paid a couple million on the side. We just need you to release this fake report so we can go get our order before we rip. So now it done filled the gap, And if we go from here, look at this. This is a hammer here. This is a bullish pattern right here. If we go from here, it was complete market manipulation, bro. Complete market manipulation on Microsoft right here, bro. Complete market manipulation. Like it falls on a fake report. Dog, my thing is if it failed, they didn't say it was a fake report for like another hour or two. But during that hour, it held the support of the gap the whole time. It didn't go further. It didn't go touch another, like it didn't go further than this. We touch here, we close, and now it looks like we on the way back up. Like, bro, it's just complete market manipulation. Like, but we can't complain about it. We can't cry about it. We just got to be in position. You know what I mean? We grad at 474. Our strike price is 500. You know, we was at 493. We can be back at 500, bro. What's it at 480? We can be at 500 by next Friday.
Yeah, I
Especially
think so too.
For
I
sure.
think what's gonna happen is they're gonna boom, we're gonna get a nice little spike during that rate cut.
rate. Yep.
Boom, we're gonna get a nice little spike, and then when that Japan hit, nigga, we gonna have another pullback like crazy.
Mm.
I think that's what's really gonna happen, y'all. Like we gonna get that nice little semi-Christmas rally, but if you don't take your profit
Yeah.
before they hit on that 19th day or 18th day, nigga, it's over.
Yep. That could happen. That could happen. And the catalyst that people forget about is Donald J. Trump.
hmm
He sees what's going on in Japan. He sees what's going on in the bond market. He sees what's going on in the stock market. He sees what could collapse this shit, and he sees what can make this shit go. That is why he's been getting in position, and that is what we're about to go over to now. That is why he's been getting in position with these bonds, bro. Want to talk about these bonds? Like Trump is he's playing a masterful game right now. Like when it comes to getting money, he is one getting money motherfucker, bro. Like straight up. Like I know niggas can be mad at him and not like how he talk and not like how he do this, but when it come to getting money, he always got his eyes on the money, bro. Always got his eyes on the money. So look at these stats real quick. Um, before Trump got in office, it says he was at about 3.2 billion. Right, about 3 billion. Over this past year, since he got in office in January, his net worth is now 6.1 billion.
Wow.
You made 3 billion in less than a year. As the president. I don't know. I don't know no nigga that never did that before.
And we ain't even brought up his sons. The sons are running up the bag too.
His in the crypto side,
Yep. hmm
Hell yeah.
ran up a bag. But also some other stuff that people are not talking about. Trump has bought over 100 million in bonds since January.
Hmm.
He done put 100 million in bonds since January. What does that mean? Buying 100 million in bonds can mean a couple things. He could be anticipating that we're going to get a rate cut.
Gonna get a rate cut. Yeah.
We're going to get a rate cut, and he could be betting that the American economy is stronger than what people think it is.
Oh, for sure. He know that. He know his plan. He knew once he had all his people coming in, it was over. Once he got all his people in, and they
Yep.
ain't all in. Once he gets
It-
his Fed chair in, nigga, it's over. You can kiss this shit goodbye.
So,
He damn near said it was gonna be too the other day.
well, Kevin Hassett,
Yeah.
we gonna see. We
Yeah,
gonna
they've
see.
been throwing his name around for a minute.
They've been throwing his name around, but that it's just important to know that, like, and for my people that don't know how important bonds are like IOUs, right? Bonds is like debt.
Into the
Bonds are like debt, right? Where if I'm a
US company debt.
yeah,
US
if I'm a company and I need to raise some capital and I'm trying to get my brand to the next level, I can issue a bond. They're gonna give me money for it. I gotta give them the money back, but I also gotta pay them interest on that money that they loan me. That's all a bond is, right?
Hey, a good teaching point right here. Tell them MicroStrategy and basically how they're using the bonds. And that's the reason why their stock has dropped so much because they have tied their bonds to Bitcoin and basically have borrowed all this money and taken in all these bonds and they have to pay the interest slash the dividends off of it. So I think that'd be a good teaching moment to
Nah, you
elaborate on.
Nah, you just hit it on the head. That's exactly what's going on. And then another thing, Ian talked about it too. There's one company that owns more Bitcoin than almost everybody, and it's them. You know, the debt is a factor, but like Ian said too, like once we seen you built the formula and the blueprint, nigga, we want to do that too. You know, we want to get crypto, Bitcoin. We want to get that on our balance sheet too, bro. So how you did that? Okay, we're gonna try to do the same thing. And then, nothing is a coincidence, right? Bitcoin is selling off 120 down to what it touched, 79?
Yep.
79.
79. And then the day before or the day after it touches 79, Vanguard says we are now allowing Bitcoin purchases through our investment firm. Pops from 79 back to 90. Like it's just like nothing is a coincidence. That's why we just got to be in position, bro. Like we just got to stay in position and we just got to keep running up this bag. But yeah, though, I know Nigel had asked me earlier about the VIX. Um, he had asked, will the VIX ever not matter? Right? And
Question.
the VIX, right? The VIX is reactionary. It's reactive rather than proactive. The VIX only it measures what happens in the S&P 500. So if there's a lot of volatility, if there's not a lot of volatility, the VIX is just measuring that. So when it comes to does it play a role, and if we see the VIX doing this and doing that, should we get out of the market is going to kind of tell you if you should get out of position before the VIX will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The market is going to tell you that. The VIX it actually moves slower compared to how the S&P 500 moves, right? So that's just definitely something I wanted to touch on with bro what he asked, and then we're gonna talk about this um temperature check, and then really how the rest of the year gonna go, and then we gonna be off here. Ain't too much today. Really, like I said, the market just been stagnant, bro. The market been stagnant. The market just been chopped, consolidated. But this is the time where if the market ain't doing nothing, this don't mean we need to just start forcing trades. I had one of us in the group call me earlier, and he was like, "Bro, what you think about putting in a play on this for about a week or two?" I'm like, "Listen, you can execute your plays however you want to, right? Everybody's strategy gonna be different. You know what I mean? My strategy or what I'm comfortable with, I might only take what I'm confident in seeing over the next, week or two or next month, 2 months, 3 months, right? But that's my strategy. If you see something for a day and you want a day trade, do your thing. My only thing is just make sure you're getting good at what you're doing before you just start throwing all your money in this market, right? Stay low, like you saying, keep firing, bro. Like risk small. You know what I mean? If you risk small and you scale your account up, bro, you're gonna be to where you want to be in no time. Like that's the problem with the internet today. A lot of people they see all these people winning and hitting these big numbers, and everybody want to get a screenshot. And I just did this today, and I did this, and I'm doing this, and you start really losing the essence of the game because everybody's in this to make more money than the next. Nah, the game is about profits, but the game is also about building wealth. You can't build wealth when you keep posting screenshots every single day on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, of course, it's good to highlight your winners, but if you only doing this just to show your gains over other people, I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. Before we get into this, y'all got any Y'all got any questions or anything before we proceed forward?
I will say this though, Nate. Like people when they hit you,
Mhm.
like everybody's trading strategy is different. But
Right.
if somebody hits you on some like, hey bro, what do you think about this? I think giving the best opportunity and say, okay, if I was to execute this, then this is how I would do it. Because it's even like stuff myself. Like I be wanting to call him, but I'm like, but he probably gonna give me like uh well, I don't know type of thing. That's just like for the for the um for the medical. So we like, okay, well, up 140. All
Yeah.
right, up 140%. Now we should put in some bars so some ways and making sure people are making profit. See, okay, I can withstand that, but if anybody else got into the medical to see that it goes down or whatever the case may be, then they might be sick that they lose all that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like at what point in time and also helping people set a stop loss and set a limit. So saying that if it does touch this number, then it's gonna sell off by itself. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not as versed on that inside of the trade game. So I would say if there's a way to create um some type of not preset, but even looking at the chart or whatever, okay, well, if it hits this, bro, you need to withdraw out. Like everybody doesn't know when to withdraw out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's I see what you're saying, but that's kind of what we talk about in the beginning, right? Like knowing your strategy, right? You don't, and I had this quote down. If you have to prepare for war and when to get out of war when you already in one, you already lost. And the reason I say that is because before you even take a trade, before you even get in position, you should already know what you're trying to get out of it. That is why my strategy has always been the same. I'm trying to get 100% on my play. And if I got two contracts, I'm trying to sell one contract when I get up 100% and I'm trying to leave a runner, right? If I get down a certain percentage, that 50%, 60%, 70%, me personally, that's why I always say that me personally, I might ride that out because I got that fortitude, but everybody might not have that fortitude. So if you get down 20%, 30%, cut it if you don't want to keep it, right? But we've also seen in real time, all of us, we've got down on 70% on the play. We've got down 80% on the play. Malcolm, we was down 97% on gold. 97% end up getting out in profit in one day. 97% came back. So I hear you though, Keys. But I definitely I'll probably say it more, but my strategy.
Or just tell people like what's some percentages. Like if you get down this, if you have a low risk tolerance, right? At you guys, if it gets out at 40% down on or 30% down on the option and you don't have a lot of money in your account, cut it. All right. You guys, if you got a little bit more of a risk tolerance, if you get down to 50% and you got a little bit of money in your account, let it ride. If you get down 80%, that's what I mean by like having metrics. So then
Oh, okay.
anybody who's new that comes to the game, they'll understand. Like me and Sam was literally just talking about this. That's why I'm
Mhm.
bringing this up as a good point. And if you want to
Yeah.
elaborate on it, Sam, so he can kind of, this is where you can ask these type of questions. Like, okay, well, if I get down this much on a thing, get out and reposition myself. Or if you are focusing on building your account, you know, you can go ahead and ask them, Sam, what you were kind of asking me. It's like, what are the percentages at the thing? You know,
I don't know if he can hear, but yeah, I got you though. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Keys. Yeah, definitely we can get those
I just
metrics in
left his house. Maybe I know we all. We was both on. That was
there.
I
Yeah,
was
I
about to
got
say
you.
that to help people to sell to close, you always the price you enter as the bid, just add that number on top. So whatever that number on top is the 100%. So say I bought a call for 5.0. So 5.0 plus 5.0, that's 10. So just put a sell to close limit at 10. And then you don't gotta worry about it too much. Whenever it gets to 10, it's gonna sell.
On the profit side, and then on the loss side, if you got in at 5 and you only want to lose about 50%, you could put in a stop order at 250 or something like that. I see. That's a great strategy. I like that. I like that. Nigel, what's up, man?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like something like that. Cause he's like, bro, how do I know if the option, he's like, when I was trading, bro, I didn't really have no like strategy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I just went up, it went down. All right, cool, I cut it. But to giving people direct guidelines to say,
Yeah,
all right, if it hits this and this is at 20%, then sell it. That's
got
what that's what I mean.
got you.
I think that's exactly what Nigel just elaborated on. It's like, okay, but if I got that 5 and then I wanted to go, I don't want to
Indeed.
lose more than 50%, I'm put in 250. You know what I
Got
mean?
you.
It's the minimum.
Yep, I'm with you. I got that written down too, though. We can get those metrics in there for sure. I like that, Keys. And then Nigel, what's up, man?
Yeah, no, Keys, no, you were saying something that no, spot on, man. No, so uh, I guess for example, like right, the hood play that
Yeah,
majority
we
of us
all
got
in.
in that Nate
Mhm.
that call that he sat out for us. He decided to sell it, which makes sense for his situation. And I think, like you were saying too, Keith, like it is very situational. And I think too, like hell, like it depends on the duration of the call too, right? So,
Yeah.
for example, the call is till the hood calls to like what January
January.
16th or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, January. So I guess for me that likes to make long calls, that's just the type of trader I've turned into, and that's just what I'm gonna stick with as far as strategically trading.
My brother, internet messed up. That's
But
that.
yeah, KB, what you were saying, bro, that really did that makes a lot of sense. And what Nigel was just saying too is like the only reason why I'm saying is like, hey, you guys, people gonna listen to what they listen to. So saying if you like people getting in and they just hop on the magnate in the ecosystem, right? And
Hmm.
they're like, well, I want to straight play options before even buying shares. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, if you don't got $1,000 in your account, you shouldn't be letting it go over 50%. You know what I'm saying? The option to go 50 because it does what? It blows your account. So you got to have a little bit less of risk tolerance rather than somebody who's playing with 50, 60 grand, 80 grand inside of their account, 100. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, like,
Right.
just knowing that or just knowing when to take profit. That's another thing that should we should go deep into or have it in some type of book where people understand this is a scenario where you take profit. This how I came to you and I asked like, hey, I'm up this on A net. I'm up this on the shares, and we just saw A net crash down from 150s, well, it hit 160, all the way down to 125. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's an example of, well, do I let that profit sit or do I let the play keep running? You know what I'm saying? So
Right. And then what I can probably do is I'll have it written out. Because like I said, I've been doing this for a minute. So my strategies on how I do it, it doesn't change. And right, my thing for us in the ecosystem is for everyone to see as me as a guy, see how he does it, and then I'm gonna make my own strategy. Right. Like
yeah,
Nigel just said, well, me, I got to a point where I cut my hood. Some people follow me, some people didn't. Nigel is a prime example. Well, I'm keeping my hood. He gets back up. He back break even now on the same play that we cut. So that's an example of me personally, this is how I'm doing it, but that's not the only formula that
Everybody.
wins. You
Sure.
know what I mean? And so what I can do, like you said, Keith, I can write it down. I can kind of get it more on a visual, like, okay, this is how Nate does it. Okay, he gonna buy one contract, two contracts, three contracts, four. Once he get up 100%, he gonna sell half, so he can have that on the side, and then he gonna let the rest
Right.
run. If he get down a certain percentage of this within this date, then he's looking to cut. You know, that's another thing
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
Walter
that's
Chapter
exactly
talks
what I'm
about
talking
too,
about.
is that you buy time for a reason.
Mhm.
And that's something that I still be on myself about, right? That if I'm buying time, utilize it. Why did I get out of Hood so early?
Mm.
Hood back break even, and we still got over a month left on the contract. Way to go, Nigel, for
No doubt.
holding that,
Mhm.
right? But still though, you still ask yourself, well, we did get down like 50%. So I'm gonna cut it here rather than like Nigel, well, I'm down 50, but I bought time for a reason. Let me utilize the time. Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, and I think my shit cut out. But
that's the ASTS mobile.
tight shit. But yeah, and then my reasons for staying in are different than others too. Like I have another. I mean, I don't know if anybody was able to see like the screenshot I sent. I also have another call with Hood that goes out to February, which is not too far from the call that Nate put in the chat. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, hell, I'm gonna stick with it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Um,
Right.
but then again, it's like, okay, like Nate and I think Keys was saying too, is like, okay, that 50%, that 60%, like what are you comfortable what are you comfortable losing comes down to the individual trader,
Sure.
So and then again, it comes down to the individual trader, but then it comes down to like how much that contract costs. Like that 800, I think it was like $800
Mhm.
at the time. Like that's not that deep compared to a contract that's worth 15, 1600, 2000 per contract, which you're buying more so in the money.
Right.
So it's like, okay, shit, if I believe in it, I already have a contract with it. Why not stick with it? So my reasons are different. Just for my personal belief, and not saying like he didn't believe in it, but his strategy is different. He's playing a different ball game than I am, but yeah, we are all playing the same ball game.
Got you.
If that makes sense.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. So yeah, I'm one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that visual down so we can go over that. But another thing too though, for the people that are beginners on here, the way I built the Notion out is so it can be beginner friendly, so you can know what to do in the beginning, right? For the ones that are, I had a call, with two other guys in ecosystem earlier, and they were just like, man, brother, I just don't know what to do. And I'm
Mm.
like, man, are you not in the chat? Are you not seeing what everybody's saying? Are you listening to Keys? Are you seeing what Malcolm's saying? Are you seeing what guys are saying? Yeah, but it's just confusing. I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, did you start the schedule? Market Mondays? Nah. And that's kind of the point that I want to bring up now is like, I'm not gonna hold your hand through this shit, bro. Right? We grown. You know what I mean? I'm here to be a guide to show you how to do it. I'm not gonna be here for you. Like, hey, I'm gonna grab your hand and I'm gonna take your finger and I'm gonna press this button and it's gonna say Market Mondays and you need to watch this at this time. Nah, like we grown. Like if you want to go get to the bag, you gonna go get to the bag.
Sure.
If you're gonna play around, if you I'm gonna get to it one day. I think who said it best? Ice Cube said it best. You cannot complain about the results that you don't have from the work that you did not put in. You cannot complain about the results you don't have from the work that you did not put in, bro. We've got great minds in here. We've got great people that are a part of different groups that are getting different insight that have been doing this for a while. right? That have been doing this for a while, right? So in the Notion, I think he said it's on YouTube. Yep, it's on YouTube, brother. On Notion, right? It shows you Monday, we watch Market Mondays. Tuesday, Trapping Tuesdays. Wednesdays, Blackout. Thursday, we come together, we do this. Right? With that schedule, by Thursday, you should have gained so much knowledge about the markets from the best of the best. By Thursday come, you should be that much smarter every single week. You're listening to the best, right? All those things have been very beneficial as a beginner. Yep, see? You're listening to the best Monday through Thursday. And then outside of Thursday, you still doing the work on your own. You still reading your own books. You still doing your own information. I wish Mason was on. I know he in Belgium, but Mason is a prime example that he's a pro athlete right now. He went to Duke University, right? He went to Purdue University, played with Cooper Flag last year. He's a professional athlete getting paid right now overseas. And Mason is in the chat all day, every day. He is calling me, yo, I'm looking about this strategy. I'm looking about the support, the resistance, and then what about the order block flow? And then Trap said this, and then Ian said this, and Rashad said this, and then you said this. But then I seen Keys say this, and Malcolm say this, and now I'm trying to put it together. Now I'm looking at the balance sheet. I'm not telling him he's literally going after it, bro. Right? He's literally going after it, bro. And that's how you should be. Like, if you really want to get to it, bro, that's how you're going to be. That's how you're going to be, bro. And so, like I said, I'm here as a guide. I'm here to help. I'm here to answer any question. But when it comes to, if you want me to grab your hand and click the button for you to get started, I'm not going to do that. This is not that. This might be the wrong group for you, right? You still got to go after and learn and involve yourself. Personal development is what you call it. I said this on my story yesterday. After high school and after college, there are no more requirements for you to keep learning. When you get to work, it's not a requirement for you to learn and keep evolving. It's a requirement for you to do your job and to get the job done. But when it comes to you elevating your thinking, of advancing your emotional intelligence, of increasing your social awareness, you don't have to do that no more, bro. That's not a requirement. So you got to take it upon yourself at this big age to evolve as a person, bro, as an investor, as an entrepreneur, as a human being, bro. You got to take that upon yourself. So definitely want everybody to hear that. And kudos to everybody that's literally executing. I'm seeing all y'all like executing. Even if you're not executing on the plays, you still executing on the shares. If you're not executing on the shares, you still tapped in the Market Mondays. You still asking me questions. You still looking at Trapping Tuesdays. Like, it's only a matter of time now until you start getting the life that you want. And that's with anything, bro. 10,000 hours. Kobe says it. I'm going to keep saying it. Kobe says it. 10,000 hours. You put in that much time into anything, you're bound to be great at it. You're bound to be great at it. You're bound to be great at it. So, that was everything, man. Another great call. Like I said, choppy week, slow weeks, right? Market going up, it's coming right back down, going up, going right back down, going up, going right back down. The worst place to be in this market is trying to trade every direction. That's the worst place.
Yeah, you can't do that right now.
That's the worst place to be. You trying to trade every Monday through Friday, every direction. The market is literally staying flat. It's going up $5, going up $10, going back down $5, going back down $10, coming back to the middle. You're literally burning your account. You literally second guessing yourself. You messing up your strategy. You doing all that. So stay focused. Stay locked in, man. Like he said, I think we're gonna get that rate cut next week. Definitely want to keep an eye on
Get
Japan
the short
and what
pop.
they say. What they say, I definitely think the liquidity that the Federal Reserve is putting back into the banks quietly is gonna do something. Right? It's giving that stability, right? It's trying to give that stability to the banks for them to have that cash. But other than that, bro, let's just keep going through it, man. Let's just keep working. Let's keep grinding. Literally 2 weeks ago today, this was a different conversation. When Nvidia did that thing 2 weeks ago today on that Thursday, and it ran up and it sold all the way off. And we was up 100 to down 115 points. This was a different conversation 2 weeks ago, bro.
Yeah, it was.
It was a different
But we
conversation.
didn't get that. I mean, it's hard to say if we gonna get that Christmas rally. I know we didn't get it last year, and it came a little bit later. It came in like what, January or something like that.
Yeah, it came in like November, and then December it just kind of just consolidated and slid. And then when Trump got in office, was that January 18th, 20th, we rallied for a couple weeks, and then the tariff man took over.
Yeah, then the tariff. Then the tariff. Yeah, boy.
The
It
tariff
was
man took over, man.
man.
The
Yeah,
tariff man
it
took over.
was.
So yeah, man, that's everything. Anybody got any questions? Please ask any question before we get off here. I don't want y'all to get out of here. Then we get to next Thursday. Oh, I should have asked that. Anybody got any questions? Got a lot of great minds on here before we get out of here.
Yes, going back to that Christmas rally question. In your mind or any of y'all's mind, are the Dow, I guess in particular, do you think the other indices is too high for us to expect a
You know what's
real
crazy? I was looking at the indexes, and then you go look at the S&P 500. I'm looking at the RSI. The RSI is at like 55.
Mm,
So it's not even nowhere close to being over
oversold?
It's not even close, but it feels like it's just super high though.
Yeah, it does.
They're in it, and people can feel it, like almost $8 trillion on the side, waiting for anything to happen. That's not breeding certainty. That's breeding uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
So I don't know, man. I definitely know that Trump is a wild card.
No doubt.
And when he said, listen to me. He fooled me once. Your ass ain't gonna fool me again. His ass said in April, it's a good time to buy stocks. I said, oh, hell no, he on some bullshit. That motherfucker been running for
Right.
Yeah, pure bullshit.
Hey, and then he said in like May, June, or July, something like that. I'm gonna keep stocks at all-time highs. I said he on some bullshit. That motherfucker ran.
Nah, he said that again the other
He sure did.
a couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago.
Yep.
So this time, nigga, you fooled me.
Take him at his word.
You know what? I'm gonna take you by your word this time. Let's see. And watch this. Watch the time we take him by his word. This motherfucker fall apart. This mother fall apart.